Yo, the boys are back. How quickly the tides of war changed after Oliver, Omniman, and Mark pulled up to Telestria when they were needed most. This episode was so good, I can't wait to talk about it with y'all. Before I do, for any of my The Boys watchers out there, I'll be tapping into the season 5 premiere right after I get this video out to y'all, which by the way, I did not know The Boys season 5 was dropping today. I thought that was tomorrow, but nonetheless, Prime is blessing us, so y'all know y'all gonna get more content out of me. But if you want to see that recap, go ahead and tap into my main YouTube channel, that being J12 TV. That's where I'll be posting all of the recaps for The Boys. If you don't want to miss out, go ahead and check me out. Subscribe while you at it. And yeah, let's just get right into this episode. Absolutely love the start of this episode. We got the Viltrumites and the Coalition prepping for this war that we've been waiting on since the beginning of this season. The perspective is going back and forth between Thaddeus and Thrag, and both sides are just talking shit on the other. Thaddeus talking about, we've been prepping for this day for years now, decades even. One thing I'll say about our side is that they're not ready for the smoke that we're coming with. You got Thrag on the other end talking about they have hope for some odd reason. The whole time they don't even amount to the dust on the bottom of our boot. They couldn't lick our jock straps if they tried. Again, it's just beef on both sides. I'm loving it. And I love that the war was not resolved in this one episode, because obviously, like I said at the beginning, Mark, Oliver, and Omniman pull up to Telestria just in time before the planet is absolutely eviscerated. Ain't gonna lie, the Coalition was holding them. It was looking real bad before their arrival. And I'm so tight because this wouldn't have even happened if that one data agent, whoever they were, didn't lower their shields, allowing Thrag's ship onto the planet. Talk about I thought we were gonna lose, I'm sorry. Did nobody from Viltrum or Telestria brief you on the situation? We were up 3-1. I ain't gonna lie, the beginning of the series was looking really bad. Obviously, our resident Viltrumites were on a whole other planet. So it was looking real one-sided to start. Viltrum had their foot on the Coalition's neck. But then they got Battle Beast, they got the duel with that one weapon that could literally put holes in Viltrumites, taking them out in one shot. And people from the once enslaved Viltrum planet started joining the Coalition. So, the ties changed. But this one data agent was apparently working with the Viltrumites for years now. And it's just tough. It's like, you really thought you had a friend, huh? Honestly, though, I'm not surprised that the Viltrumites had an inside man, especially with how comfortable they were on Telestria, bro. Like, this was bound to happen. It's just unfortunate all the casualties that had to come as a cost of it, but this is war. We got Oliver asking by the end of the episode, did we win? And it was just silent because, no. We lost all these lives. Lives were lost on both sides. At the end of the day, there's no winner in that. Before I get to the setup for the next episode, in that post-credit scene that absolutely pissed me off, Robert Kirkman, you troll. I gotta talk about the stars of this episode being Omniman and Oliver, respectively. Absolutely love seeing them rebuild their relationship in the 2 months that Mark was out. Gotta remember, the last time Omniman seen Oliver, boy couldn't even form 2 whole words. Despite Omniman not knowing Oliver, Oliver knew all about his pop. He idolized him. That's the reason he has that on his chest. That's for bro to come back to Earth and not even want to see him. Now, this whole episode, me on my screen, Omniman, just tell bro you want him to get caught up in the same shit you caught Mark up in. Obviously, he couldn't hear me. Even if he did hear me, though, that wouldn't be enough to mend the hole in Oliver's heart, for not only the fact that Nolan didn't try to see him when he came back to Earth, not only because he didn't want bro to even come on this mission, but also because of what he said about his mom last episode, how she was a mistake. Yeah, bro heard that. It was so good to see Oliver check out Omniman, but it was even better to see Omniman process all this coming from his son, the only other person that he could talk to on this planet, and understanding that his actions, his words hurt those that he loves the most. We got that a little bit with Debbie last week, but Omniman was really just trying to get back in them cheeks, let's be honest. He was just saying anything, shoot or shoot, and he read the comics. He knows that she's supposed to get back with him, but it ain't work this time around. You have to work a little harder than that, my boy, and I'm glad that he did in this episode, acknowledging the fact that he has not been the best father, acknowledging that his presence on Thraxa directly led to his mom's death and the death of the entire Thraxan population outside of Oliver. But he reassures him that he himself was not a mistake, and that he genuinely loved his mother Andressa. She was the one that made Nolan believe that he can come back from everything that he did on Earth and then some. It was so good to see the relationship between Omniman and Oliver start from a very rocky place, so much so that Oliver wasn't even eating around this man. Omniman getting Oliver right, inviting him to train with him, and then Oliver instilling lessons to Omniman like, hey, we don't need to kill this worm thing just because we want to get to her egg so that Mark can have some protein that he doesn't have to chew on. There are other ways we can go about doing things without having to resort to violence. She's just trying to survive the same way we are. And I feel like it was great to see Oliver do this because Oliver, being an ant, literally defending the worm in front of his pops, I rock with that. Overall, which was great to see them build their relationship, just the two of them, also taking care of Mark at the same time, ultimately allowing the both of them to carry and hold onto the memories that they made on this planet in fondness. I'm just glad that amongst all the war going on, Oliver got a chance to still have that relationship with his pops that he never got to because of circumstances that were not his fault. And I'm glad to see Nolan further acknowledge the mistakes that he's made and tell Oliver that, hey, I know I fucked up. I know I'm not the best person, but I'm trying to be a better person for myself and a better father for you and Mark. I love the scene at the end with Oliver, Invincible, and Omniman when Mark finally wakes up and he sees what he believes to be 3 gravestones over there behind Oliver's head, only to find out that his pops and brother are still alive, which, by the way, as crazy as it was for Omniman to actually make this man Conquest a grave, I'd be lying if I said Conquest's Viltrumite graveyard ain't look hard. It's more than he deserves for sure. One more thing before we get off the planet. I love the fact that Oliver acknowledges that Mark has grew a beard over the 2 months that he's been out. Mark responds, yeah, so have you, bro. And the camera has to literally zoom in on Oliver's face, talk about really, bro? Bro really has all of 10 strands of hair on that face. I'm crying. Very good episode overall, in my opinion. I love the scenes between Alan and Tech Jack, especially when they're in space and they're talking about, all right, we gotta escape this Viltrumite ship. Let's finish this level first before we do that. And seriousness between those two ascended me the entire first half of the episode. Love seeing Battle Beast reintroduced into the story, and on our side, I'm just looking forward to seeing Thrag fight, which we'll likely see in the next episode. And I got a bad feeling, bro. Everybody on the main side of the coalition survived this episode, and I've been looking at Telia and Tech Jack and like, I don't know if y'all make it to the end of the season. I hope y'all do. Oliver, you in that list too. I hope y'all do. It's looking really treacherous out here, not gonna lie. Speaking of treacherous, why did Robert Kirkman decide to bring us back to Conquest grave in this post-credit scene and zoom in on that grave? I'm thinking this man's hand is going to come out of that grave. I was about to be pissed off. I was about to delete my Prime subscription right there after watching that Boys episode of course. But it was just a gag. That shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie. Don't do that shit again. One more thing before I leave. I absolutely love seeing Mark rush Anissa as soon as he pulled up on Telestria. Get your get back, brother. I ain't even mad at you. Episode gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Looking forward to episode 7. Let me know what you thought of this episode and what your expectations are going into episode 7 and 8 in the comments.